Okay, we'll do the chanting together. Om Bhadram Karnevih Shrunuyama Devaha Bhadram Pashe Maksha Viryajatraha Sthirair Anga Is Tuštuvag Shastanuvihi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Sastina Indro Vriddhashravaha Shastina Pusha Vishwavedaha Shasti Nastarksho Arishtanemihi Shasti no Prihaspatir Dadhatu Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi. All right. So we are studying Mundaka Upanishad. Yes. So the last topic that we studied was the art of archery. The meditation with the help of Om has been compared with archery. Here, the bow is our own mind. Bow is the Omkar. Arrow is our own mind. And the target is Brahman or Purusha, the spiritual reality. One has to hit the target with extreme alertness and care. That was the idea. Om is the arrow. Om is the bow which will take the arrow of mind to the goal of Brahman. Now, next two verses, verse 2.2.5 and verse 2.2.6, we shall take up. I already shared with you the mantras and their translations. Did you get a chance to look at them?
Yes, yes.
These two verses. And did you find any pattern in them, in the two verses, or the two verses appeared independent of each other? Yes.
I have to say I can only remember the heart with the nerves coming from the heart like the spokes of a wheel, and I can't remember the other one, so I won't say.
Yeah. Acha, you have noticed that part. Yeah. Like a hub of a wheel, our spiritual heart has been compared with a hub of a wheel, where in a wheel there are spokes, and the spokes all meet or converge at the center, the hub. Similarly, different nadis or different emotional centers of or nerve sensations all converge to our spiritual heart. That is one analogy. One analogy. But apart from that, did you find any other overarching pattern in these two verses? So these two verses are very interesting. How just now they have completed one analogy, meditation with the help of Om. Okay. Now in these next two verses, some interesting things have been told. One is that there is a bridge. There is a bridge to immortality. There is a bridge to immortality. Okay. What is that bridge? It says that how to take the bridge to immortality. So the first verse says that we have to do two things. One is ekam ātmānam eva jānatha. Know that one reality, which is our true nature. That alone has to be known to be immortal. To be immortal. And what is this one reality that has to be known? It says it is that into which it is woven. What is woven into it? All the external world, all the other planets, this planet, space, everything is woven into it. Okay, so that is, this is the ground of everything that we are seeing. Not only what is outside, but also mind, all the sense organs, that also are woven into this reality. In other words, this one reality, which is the ground of entire existence, the ground. All the other things, multiple things we are experiencing, including our mind and different thoughts, these are all superimposed or grounded on one reality. So the verse says this one reality is to be known. Know this one reality. This is the bridge to immortality. Why it is the bridge to immortality? Because when I know that the ground of my existence is something which is beyond body and mind, I have a dimension which is beyond my body and mind. Body and mind is changing, always in flux, but all of these are happening on a ground, on another reality. That reality is also my part. I have that dimension too, which is beyond this mortal body and mind. The moment I realize that I have a firm ground which will not die with the death of body and mind, then what will happen? Our fear of death will be gone. Fear of death will be gone. And the moment the fear of death is gone, we will become immortal. Immortal. Immortality does not mean that this body and this mind will continue. Immortality means that to realize this ground, which is our ground, which is the ground of the entire existence, that is also my ground, and which does not change with the change of body and mind. This will give us immortality. Secondly, this mantra says, first one is try to realize this reality. Second is annavacha vimuñcathāmṛtasyaiṣa. This is a very oft quoted phrase. Literally it means don't engage in vain talks. Don't give up all vain, non-essential, unimportant talks. Okay, so this is the first mantra. Now second mantra takes it further. Second mantra goes to how to do the meditation. So here a little more is given about Om meditation. The second mantra says, meditate Om at your spiritual heart. Why? Because the Atma, your ground of reality, is can be best found at the spiritual heart. It is everywhere, but spiritual heart is the best place to find it or see it face to face. This Atma, which resides in the spiritual heart, also takes different shapes and forms. How it takes different shapes and forms? As our mind takes up different emotions, different thoughts, different ideas, so also this one reality, as it were, it also appears as in various forms. So all that is happening in the mind, right now I am happy, next moment I am worried, all of this in various forms, that one ground reality alone is appearing as different thoughts, different processes. Because all of the thoughts, whatever is mind, these are all actually nothing other than this one reality. So this one reality, which is kind of hidden at the spiritual heart, is also appearing in diverse forms. So meditate on Om. Equate this one reality, which is at your spiritual center, with Om. Take the help of Om, and that is the best meditation. And the teacher says that meditate on Om and let your journey be smooth. Journey to where? To the other shore. In other words, journey to cross the bridge that was referred to earlier. Whether we call it immortality, whether we call it illumination, whether we call it self-realization, all of this is possible with the help of the meditation of Om. And this Om is where it is hidden in our heart. As in a wheel, all the spokes are held together in the hub, so also our spiritual heart is where all the sensations, intuitions, finer feelings, they exist. So to this morning, someone was asking me that what is the difference between our emotions, feelings, and our intellect. In other words, what is it? Spiritual heart is related to heart or brain? You know, we call it head. Head is intellect, logic, and heart is feelings and emotion. So can you guess with which among these two can be equated with spiritual heart? Spiritual heart, is it related to more with head, or spiritual heart is related to heart, which is the seat of emotions?
Heart.
Heart. Okay.
It's
Okay.
intellect.
Intellect.
It's our buddhi or our thoughts.
Any other idea?
Am I on?
Yeah.
I would say both emotions and thoughts can be a distraction from concentration on the spiritual heart.
Right. Go further. Then what is the spiritual heart? Yes.
Oh, I bring this up a lot. I always say Chitta, heart, mind together. A word that combines both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chitta.
Yes. So when we are talking, Yes.
Can
Who
we
is-
say
who is-
can we say sattvic mind?
Spiritual heart is not cannot be equated with sattvic mind. Okay. So spiritual heart is more an abstract concept. Okay. We may say that it is related to both and transcends both. Okay. Heart is the seat of feelings and emotions. But when these emotions and feelings will be purified, not all types of emotions, not all types of feelings, but those finer emotions like empathy for all, compassion for all, love for all, this type of feelings we may say is guided by spiritual heart. And in the same way we may say when intellect gives us knowledge and logic, but beyond intellect, beyond logic is wisdom. Sometimes we see that some people may be very intelligent. They can understand things very quickly, but all of them cannot be called wise. Okay. The intellect has not been transferred to wisdom, a better understanding or a better knowledge. So I was thinking that spiritual heart is awakened when our emotions and feelings have been purified. So what Sri Ramakrishna says that, take help of all of these emotions and turn them towards good. Turn them towards good. Okay. So purified emotions and purified intellect. These two are the functions of spiritual heart. Not only every type of feelings, every type of emotions, not every type of intellect, not every type of intelligence, but wisdom. Wisdom and purified emotions, these two may be related to spiritual heart. This is what I was thinking. All right, so the next mantra says that our spiritual heart is where all the sensations and everything that we are experiencing are also merging there. And that is the place where we have to meditate on Om. Okay? So this meditation on Om is a bit different from solar plexus. Yeah. So the question is, does the hub where the spokes meet relate in any way to the solar plexus? It may, it may. In Kundalini Yoga, they speak about the heart center, Anahata. And it is said that when Kundalini activates the heart center, then the yogis feel pure emotions like love for everybody, compassion for everybody. So that may be referring to this anahata, the heart chakra, whether that is the spiritual heart this Upanishad is referring to, we don't know. We don't know, but maybe the same two things they are referring to. All right, with this overall idea of these two verses, so these two verses together shows a wonderful pattern. The pattern is this: if you want to realize the immortality, then keep away from non-essential things, things which will not help you. Then, but think of one reality, which is the Atma, which is the ground of entire existence. And how to do this meditation? Take the help of Om. And this Om, try to visualize, try to feel the presence of Om at the spiritual heart. That is where the Om is placed. That is, Om is not everywhere. Om, we are first trying to locate at our spiritual heart center. Okay. And how this Om is the substratum of the entire existence. This way we need to meditate on Om. This is what the two verses are telling us. So let's take a look at the verses. Verse number 2.2.5. Yasmindyauḥ pṛthivī cāntarikṣamotaṃ otam manaḥ saha prāṇaiśca sarvaiḥ tamevaikaṃ jānatha ātmānamanyā vāco vimuñcathāmṛtasyaiṣa setuḥ. So this phrase, anna vaca vimuñcatha, this is a very popular phrase. Give up all other vain talks. So we shall see that here, give up all vain talks does not mean only talks. It means something more. Okay. Not only giving up vain talks, but it means something more. We shall see soon. All right. So as I told you, that this verse is telling us three things. How to become immortal. This is the bridge to immortality. How know that one thing alone. And that one thing is the ground of both inner world and outer world. Finally, third is give up all other talks. Give up all other talks. These 3 points are mentioned in this verse. The first word is otam. Otam is related to oven. Oven, as it, a piece of cloth is woven in the threads. The threads make the cloth. So they are all connected by the thread. So here otam means everything is pervaded by that one reality. And how it is pervaded? It pervades what? It pervades the outer world, heaven and space and earth. So also inner world, mind, all the organs, they are pervaded by that reality. That means everything is grounded on that reality. That reality is the ground of everything. In other words, if we take the idea of adhyasa, superimposition, then everything is superimposed on that one reality. Everything else exists on that one reality. That is the basis of the cloth on which the entire thread has been, all the threads have been woven to make the cloth. So how to understand it again? How to understand it? Pervaded by one reality. Image, what image comes to your mind? Pervaded by one reality. Everything is pervaded by one reality. What image? This idea comes to your mind.
Om. Meditation
Like an
on
ocean. Ocean.
Like an ocean. Tell further, go further.
like a
Everything is
space.
there, the waves and the foam, everything is in that ocean. So ocean is kind of pervading everything.
All right. What Muktaji was telling?
Everything is pervaded by space.
Okay, in the same way.
Yeah, or other one is the gold and ornaments.
Yes.
Consciousness.
Consciousness, everything is pervaded by consciousness. Yeah. So example, I gave this example several times. Sri Ramakrishna's first vision at Dakshineshwar, Kalibadi. If you remember, I very often refer to that experience. He says that when he fervently prayed to Holy Mother, Divine Mother, what he saw that waves of consciousness. And he found that everything is soaked in that consciousness. And what he said, what he saw, what he felt, that this image is conscious. This floor is conscious. This seat, cushion is conscious. This door is conscious. Okay, so here he is aware of the things, the multiplicity. This is image, this is floor, this is seat, this is door, but all of them are pervaded by the ocean of consciousness. Like soaked, they are soaked in, as it were, the ocean of consciousness. The same word has been used here as otam. Otam means that which is pervaded, which has pervaded everything. Otam. Or Sri Ramakrishna himself gives another example, that suppose we get lot of, or a doll house. We get a doll house and all the toys, all the dolls are made of wax. So we are seeing an elephant, a tiger, a house, a tree, but all of them are made by wax only. In the same way, when Upanishad says that ekam ātmānam jānatha, and by what is that atma? Which is otam. By which is otam, by which is pervaded what? All the outer world as well as inner world. So whenever we have come across this kind of expression that everything is pervaded by that consciousness, that one reality, we'll do good to remember Sri Ramakrishna's experience. Sri Ramakrishna's experience. It's a living experience. What it means that everything is pervaded by consciousness. Okay. So, otam, everything is pervaded by that one reality. One reality. And tam eva ekam jānatha. That reality is one and one only. Or in other words, that reality is the only reality worth knowing. Worth knowing. In that sense also, that is the only one reality worth knowing. That you should know. So the idea is the ground of all the existence, or the substratum of the entire existence, is only one. Although we are seeing multiple things, objects in front of us, but according to the Upanishad, all of them exists on one ground, and that ground is unchangeable. That ground is without birth, without death, without change. And not only it is the ground of entire existence, but It is the ground of my existence too. My existence too. It is not only out there existence, but it is also my own existence. That's why ātmānam. So Upanishad says, ekam eva tat ekam eva ātmānam jānatha. So know that reality as your true reality, as your core identity. That substratum is not only part of you, but that is the core part of us. And since it does not change, coming face to face with this reality is recognizing the fact that there is a dimension in me which is immortal. That is why that reality, or knowing that reality, has been compared with what? A bridge to eternity, a bridge to immortality. I recognize that I am not merely this body and mind. This body will die one day, for sure. I am something more fundamental. I have a transcendental dimension too. That transcendental dimension is deathless, changeless. My body won't be immortal. I won't be living in this body forever. This body will die, but the transcendental dimension is immortal. So bottom line, I will be fearless about death. And becoming fearless about death is what immortality is. Immortality, whenever Upanishad says be immortal, it means conquer the fear of death. Conquer the fear of death. So this is so important. I want to go through the process once again. So let's do a question answer quiz. Okay. So what is the bridge to immortality? What is the bridge to immortality?
The self. Atman.
Huh?
The self.
Yeah, knowing the self. Knowing the self.
Knowing the
Self.
self.
Yeah. And why knowing the self is immortality?
That is the true reality, the core reality. My true existence, as that is the true existence. That is my substratum of the whole universe.
And my existence too.
My existence too.
Yeah. And so knowing that means what?
You know you're immortal and you're no longer fearful of death.
So yeah, to realizing that reality gives us the assurance that there is something transcendental in me. There is a transcendental dimension in me which won't die. That gives us the courage to be fearless about death. That is immortality. Okay. And this process of knowing our immortality has been compared with a bridge. Okay. So can you this is a very I would say intelligent question. Can you equate the word setuḥ or bridge with something else which we use very often? Bridge.
Om. Is it Om, Swami? I would say Om.
Yeah, Om is the method. Okay, Om is the method, but this bridge has a more fundamental word which we use very often to
Satya,
mean.
maybe.
What?
Satya. Truth.
Satya. Truth. Okay. Let's see.
Do you mean like a
all-
mundane thing? You mean like a mundane thing, like an object, a common object, like a bridge?
No, it's another
Or
concept.
or are you
Okay.
looking for like a technical or Sanskrit word here?
Yeah, a technical Sanskrit word we use, which,
This is
okay,
life,
Upasana. Upasana.
life's
upasana, okay,
journey.
life's journey,
This is the
okay,
journey, the pursuits, what we
okay,
take, undertake.
okay, okay. Give me some hint. It means something that connects two things.
Yoga.
Yoga.
Yoga. Thank you. The yoga means yoke. You know, the way we use bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, karma yoga. Yoga means here a bridge between my present state of affairs and my desired state of affairs. A desired state, that which bridges these two states, my present state and my goal. That is the yoga. Okay, yoga, Paramatma, Atma, which connects the Atma with Paramatma, which connects devotee with God, which connects our true nature, our individual self with the Brahman, Atma and Brahman. All of these are yoga. Okay, so this bridge to immortality is also a yoga. Okay, what is that yoga? We shall come to that in a moment. Before that, and one thing about that is that immortality that this Upanishad is talking about is not something to be gained. It has to be realized, or it has to be recognized. It has to be recognized. It is not something that we can acquire. It is already ours. That immortality is already ours. We only are not recognizing it. The whole idea of the Upanishad is to just, with the help of Om, meditate and practice what is already ours. Already ours. It is a reality. It has to be only practiced again and again, unless it becomes natural. So, and another thing, anna vāco vimuñcathāmṛtasyaiṣa. Give away or give up all other discussion, all other talks. All other talks means all other talks other than this Atma. Okay, give up all. So it can have two interpretations. One is very simple. To hit the target, Brahman, the spiritual reality, it is a difficult journey as such. Compare the archery model that we have just encountered. And according to the verses, to succeed in that archery, to succeed in hitting the goal, a spiritual seeker needs a few things. What are those things? Do you recall? The seeker, of course, the help of Om is needed, but some other qualities also are needed. What are those?
Concentration.
Concentration, a mind sharpened by upasana. If we want to quote the mantras, a mind sharpened by meditation. Then what else was needed?
It viveka vairagya.
No. I'm talking about these these two mantras, last two mantras. Okay. This archery model. Last two verses that we read.
Vigilance.
What?
Vigilance. Sustained attention, vigilance.
Vigilance. Yeah, that was alertness. Alertness. The word was apramatta. That is, one has to be very alert. alert. And third one, can you recall the third one? Third quality needed. One was a mind sharpened by meditation. Second one is alertness. Apramatteno vedhavyam. The target has to be hit with a alert mind, with an alert mind.
Goal focused? Focused on the goal?
Focused on the goal. Sharobat tanmayo bhavet. So mind has to be totally focused on the goal. And there is one more component.
And
Yes.
mind has to be
Yes. What? Mind has to be?
we should think ekatma bhava, that I am, and the
Yes.
highest thing is the
Yes.
same. So the
Yeah.
strike with that, keeping that in mind.
That is sarobat tanmaya bhavet. Keep the goal in mind.
I
Goal
thought,
there was-
Swamiji,
Yes,
I
yes.
thought the third one was meta awareness, being aware that the mind is wandering away.
Yeah, that is alertness.
Oh, that is also alertness? Okay.
Yes, yeah. Mhm.
So did it have to do with the senses and closing?
Yes. Withdrawal of the senses.
Withdrawal of
Okay.
sense.
In the analogy, it was said that when you are putting the arrow on the string of the bow, what we are doing? We are withdrawing. We are withdrawing the string. Okay. It was compared with withdrawing our mind from things unrelated things. Okay. Withdrawal. So withdrawal of the mind, then focus of the mind, alertness of the mind, and complete dedication. These four are needed to succeed in the art of archery. What is the art of archery? Hitting the goal of Brahman. So, don't waste, Upanishad says, don't waste your time in vain talks, in vain discussions, which we have been doing forever. We very often engage ourselves in vain discussions. We consume lot of news which don't help us in any way. So these all of them has to be by a serial. If we are serious about hitting the goal, if we are serious about walking the bridge to immortality, then we have to cut back on these unnecessary involvements, unnecessary discussions and negative discussions. So it also means that literally it may mean the value of silence, maunata, value of don't talk in vain, but meditate. That is maunata. Now what is maunata, silence? Silence means talking when it is necessary. Talking when my words will add values. Talking when my words will add something. These are called silence, maunata. Maunata does not necessarily mean not talking at all. Maunata means talking when it is necessary. For example, when it is necessary, we may have to speak up. That is also part of maunata. Okay. Good communication. So say the right thing at the right time. That is part of maunata. But other than that is give up all fruitless, unnecessary discussions which do not contribute, which are not edifying. Another word is which are not edifying. Why engage in so much of this type of talks and ideas? And we see, not only that unnecessary talk, but we also sometimes encounter excessive talking, compulsive talking. People keep on talking excessively, more than what is needed. And sometimes they are pressured to talk as it where they have to fill in with words. And from this idea to that idea to this idea, nowhere, it is going nowhere. We are talking in tangents and different topics. So these are, according to Upanishad, vain pursuits, taking our time and energy, but leading us nowhere. So the word, the phrase, annavacha vimuñcathāmṛtasyaiṣa, give up vain talkings, itself has so many meanings. That is, one is, don't engage in unnecessary talks. Don't engage in negative talks. Don't engage in talks which do not help us to grow. Then cut back on the habit of excessive talking or pressured talking or meaningless talking. But another way of looking at this mantra or the phrase is annavacha. If we don't take it literally as vacha is words, but if we take it as thoughts, then give up all unnecessary thoughts. And what is the definition? It is of give up unnecessary thoughts and think of only one thing. And this is the definition of what? This is the English definition of
Dhyana.
dhyana. In this context, nididhyasana. The definition of nididhyasana is vijatiya, teha adi pratyaya rahita, adhitya vastu sajatiya pratyaya prabhaha iti nididhyasana. What is meditation? What is Vedantic meditation? Vedantic meditation or nididhyasanam is the uninterrupted flow of thought regarding the non-dual reality, advitiya vastu, free from all thoughts about dissimilar things such as body and external world. Definition of nididhyasana, that sajatiya pratyaya prabhaha. Sajatiya means one type of thought only. What is one type of thought? Thought about non-dual reality. And except that, all other thoughts like I am body, I am this, I am that, I am my roles, I am my responsibilities, these are bijatiya. These are dissimilar. These are contrary idea. So give up contrary idea and rather entertain, rather raise in your mind only one type of thought, the thought about non-dual reality. Non-dual reality. That is definition of meditation or nididhyasana, or even definition of upasana. Shankaracharya defines upasana as this: trying again and again to retain one type of thought and tune out or shut out all other types of thoughts. That is upasana. Okay, so annavacha vimuñcathāmṛtasyaiṣa also means try to practice nididhyasana or meditation as much as possible. Okay, so upshot of this verse is that the ground of existence holds everything together. That ground of existence, the spiritual reality called Brahman, holds everything together. The heaven, the space, the earth, as well as our internal world, our mind, our senses. And this ground, as it is the ground, is the changeless. If it is changeless, it is immortal. Since my ground is also the same one reality, I have an immortal dimension too, which is beyond the mortal body and mind. To recognize that immortality, the bridge is the constant practice. One should shun other thoughts such as, I am body, I am such and such, I am such other individuals. That is the bridge, that is the yoga to immortality. Okay, now the question will be how to do this meditation, how to do this nididhyasana. The next verse will say that with the help of Om, we can do this nididhyasana or meditation. That we shall see then in our next class. Okay. So what a wonderful mantra, this one. What a wonderful mantra. If you have any question, please go ahead.
A comment, Maharaj, a comment and a question. Swami Sarvagatananda of Boston used to call this ground of dwelling, God. Question
Ground
was
of dwelling, G-O-D.
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 Yeah. And the question was, some people, they say meditate in the heart, and some people try to meditate in between the eyebrows. This, so, and I know in our tradition is not encouraged to do that. So what is your thoughts on that?
Yeah, majority of the traditions ask us to meditate in heart, okay. So that is what we follow. And it has been seen that meditating in other parts can lead to complication. For example, meditation on eyebrows may can cause headache for some people, headache. And meditation on brain also can create headache to some people. Not to mention other kind of complication. For example, people who try to meditate on agya, that is here, eyebrows, they might experience anxiety, sudden hyperactivity or anxiety about no particular thing. And they say that it is awakening of one particular chakra without having sufficient preparation, and practice, but somehow one spiritual energy or chakra center has been activated. Then one can feel this type of things.
Okay. Thank you.
I have a question, Swami. Once dwelling on one thought, it's still a thought. But if it becomes a permanent process that we're engaged in, you recently taught about bhava. It becomes a bhava.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Very good question. Bhava. Bhava is a bhakti term. Bhakti. And you know what is bhava? Bhava means a mood which has become kind of trait. A mood I practiced, in devotional scriptures, they say 5 types of relationship one can have with God. Okay. As if I am friend with God. So cultivating this mood, the emotion that I am friend of God, God is my friend, this when becomes a trait with sufficient practice or sufficient yearning, this attitude has kind of become permanent. It has become my bhava, okay, my characteristic, my trait. And you know what? In Vedanta, in Jnana Yoga, the same trait, that dwelling on the idea that I am that non-dual reality, that is practicing most of the time, same thing is called what?
Samadhi.
No, samadhi is actual experience.
I know.
Ekatma bhava. Is it ekatma bhava?
Ekatma bhava is, kind of feeling that I am one with that reality. But this constant habit of reminding oneself that I am that non-dual reality, okay, that will remain in the background of the mind. That is, what it is, technically it is called, very often you will find in Shankara's commentaries.
I just think Swami neti when you talk like that.
Yeah, neti
That
is a
part of it,
process.
the
Yeah.
constant-
Affirmation.
Yeah.
No, they have a technical Sanskrit name. If anyone can tell it, I will give 100 out of 100. It is called Jnana-nishtha. Jnana-nishtha. Okay. You might have heard the word Jnana-nishtha. Jnana-nishtha means someone is convinced about the existence of the reality, but have not yet experienced it. I have not yet experienced that reality face to face, but I am convinced through my shravana and manana that I am that reality. Only now I am trying to practice. I am trying to meditate. I am trying to hold on to that idea. That is called Jnana-nishtha. Just as bhava in Bhakti Yoga, also equivalent thing for Jnana Yoga is Jnana-nishtha. Jnana-nishtha. Okay, any other question?
What is the exact meaning of the nishtha?
Betty, your camera has frozen. So, yeah. So try to understand the logic of this mantra. Okay, go back again and see how it connects with what the verse is telling, that there is an immortality, there is a bridge to the immortality, and the bridge is to know that one reality, which is worth knowing. And what is the nature of that reality? That it is the ground of everything. Since it is the ground of everything, it is itself changeless. Since it is changeless, it is immortal. And if we are interested in conquering our fear of death, or interested in discovering this transcendental dimension in us, then try to know this reality, and what not to do? Not to engage in vain discussions, and try to do nididhyasana or meditation on this idea again and again, if we want to realize that reality. Okay. This is the idea behind the verse. All right then. Yeah, yes.
Just one question. I was just
Yes.
thinking, when in the physical world, we always worship, and through devotion, we go try to connect to our personal God, or through avatars whom we are Ishta and all. So through that, how we understand or realize this transcendental dimension of my existence. Through that, I mean, I have to go through my Ishta only. Through him only I will understand. Otherwise, how will I understand?
Yes. One can be through the meditation of Om, The next verse will tell. Okay. But for many, those who are in have a Ishadhyavata. The Ishadhyavata is nothing but that one reality, the ground of existence. Ishadhyavata is the manifestation of that reality. Ishadhyavata is the symbol of that one reality. Ishadhyavata is our help to concentrate on that one reality. Ishadhyavata also has to be ultimately transcended. For Ishadhyavata will take us to that one reality. Okay.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Yeah. All right. So we shall take up the next mantra next day. Okay. So in the meantime, go again over these two verses. Okay. Then we can start again from these combined two verses and then take up from there. Okay. All right. Then see you. Let's say Shanti, Shanti, Shanti and close the class. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om